A while back, I set out to make the best matcha brownie recipe. I had two main criteria, a strong matcha flavor and an amazing texture. So I did a bit of research and looked at the top recipes for matcha brownies online. I narrowed it down to 4 types. Matcha blondies that didn't contain any cocoa powder, cream cheese swirl brownies with a matcha cheesecake flavored portion, matcha frosted brownies, and just a regular brownie recipe except you replace part of the cocoa powder with matcha powder. So I wrote up my recipes and got to testing them out.
Round number 1 was matcha blondies. I made the base of the blondies with a ton of matcha powder and some browned butter. I smoothed the batter out into a pan, popped it in the oven, and then realized I forgot the chocolate chips. So I had to take it back out and stir those in. And after they cooled off, I gave them a taste test, and they were really good, and the flavor actually improved the next day. Round number 2 was cheesecake swirl brownies. I made a matcha cheesecake batter as well as just a regular brownie batter. Then I spread the matcha cheesecake layer in the pan, plopped dollops of brownie batter on top, and swirled it all together. I baked them up, and then I had to let them chill in the fridge overnight.
Alright, so it's a new day and the brownies have been chilling, so now I'm going to cut them and do a taste test. Okay, that's actually really good. Texture and flavor is really good. There could be more cheesecake batter. Want to try a bite?
Sure.
What do you think? Between these and the first one?
I think this one's better.
I think there's less matcha flavor, so that's not surprising.
Sure.
Good.
Alright, so this is round 3 of the matcha brownie testing, and for this batch I just took a regular brownie recipe and I placed part of the cocoa powder with matcha powder. And then I also added in some dark chocolate chips. Honestly, they kind of look like mud with some chocolate chips mixed in. I'm gonna give it a taste test and let you guys know what I think. Okay, so this was a corner piece and it's looking nice and soft and gooey. Alright, let's give it a taste test. That's very good. I think that the melty chocolate chips really help. I'm definitely still getting the matcha flavor even though it's mixed with the cocoa powder. I don't know if you can see. You definitely get kind of a green color. I think that's quite good. I think this is my favorite rendition yet, but we have one more round to go. Okay, so this is round 4 of the matcha brownie testing. And for this round, what I did was I just baked up a regular brownie recipe and then I had a cream cheese and matcha frosting on top. So I'm going to cut into this and see what I think. Okay, so there you can see we've got the brownie layer and then the matcha frosting on top. The brownie looks nice and gooey, fudgy. Let's give it a go. I like that a lot. That is very, very good. I like this a lot. I feel like you can get a really distinct chocolate flavor and then a really distinct matcha flavor. That is delicious.
So after all that testing, I had it narrowed down to the blondies and the frosted brownies. I had family members try out those two side by side, and the frosted brownies were a clear winner. But I wasn't quite satisfied with the frosting recipe, so I reworked it a bit and tested it out on my family again. And they were a big hit. Even people who don't care for matcha agreed that they were yummy. So without further ado, here is my best matcha brownie recipe.
Let's go over the ingredients for the brownie base first. You'll need 12 tablespoons of salted butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Line an 8x8 or 9x9 square baking dish with parchment paper. I really like to use this method where you snip the edges and then it fits in the pan a lot more neatly. Melt the butter in a medium saucepan. Add the sugar, cocoa powder, salt, and vanilla. Whisk to combine well. Allow it to cool until just warm and then add the eggs. Beat the eggs into the batter very well until the sugar starts to dissolve. Add the flour and whisk until just combined. You might also find it easier to use a wooden spoon here instead of a whisk. Scrape the batter into the prepared pan and smooth out the top. Bake in preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out with a few moist crumbs still attached. If you want really fudgy brownies, you can underbake these slightly, or if you like more cakey brownies, you can bake them until a toothpick comes out clean. Allow it to cool completely, and then it's time to make the frosting. You'll need 4 ounces of softened cream cheese, 1 stick of salted butter that's been softened, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of matcha powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Place the butter and cream cheese in a deep bowl and beat until smooth. Sift the powdered sugar and matcha together over the butter and cream cheese mixture. Beat until smooth, scraping down the sides of the bowl as necessary. Add the vanilla extract and beat or fold it in. Scrape the frosting over the cooled brownies and smooth it out evenly with an offset spatula. Yes, there's nearly as much frosting as there is brownie. You're welcome. Store any leftovers in the fridge and serve either chilled or bring them back to room temperature.
So that's how to make some phenomenal matcha brownies. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more food and cooking videos. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. And the frosted brownies